Morning. So what we're going to have a look at today is factorising quadratics. So this is something that you've been doing a little bit over the last week. What we're going to have today is we're going to end up with one positive and one negative factor in the brackets. So what I want to draw your attention to start off with are these negative numbers that we've got at the end. So we know that we need to think of two numbers that multiply to give us this number at the end. So we need to think of two numbers that multiply to give us minus 21. Now, for it to be a negative 21, we need to consider, well, what numbers would I multiply together to give me a negative? And the answer is that I'd have to have a positive and a negative number. It doesn't have to be in that order. It could be a negative and a positive, but that's how I'm going to end up with a negative answer. Now, if I consider 21 itself, okay, then what I need to do is go through all the factors. So I've got 1 times by 21, 2 doesn't go into it, 3 times by 7, 4 doesn't go into it, neither does 5, and neither does 6, and then I'm back to 7, which I've got here already. So I need to make one number positive, one number negative, so that I can end up with an overall positive 4, because the number that I've got in the middle here is plus 4. So I need the two numbers to add up to give me 4. Now, 1 and 21, there is no combination that I can have that will get me to positive 4. I can have 19 or negative 19. Those are the only sort of answers I can get from that. So it's not going to be that first set. Let's try the 3 and the 7. If I make the 3 positive and the 7 the negative number, 3 subtract 7 gives me minus 4. Now, do I have a minus here? No, I don't. So let me try it the other way around. If I try negative 3 with positive 7, negative 3 plus 7 gives me positive 4, and that is what I've got here, so that's the combination I'm going to use. X with a minus 3 and x with a positive 7. Okay, and that is that done, factorised. So let's have a look at part B now. So two numbers that multiply to give me 35. So I've got 1 times by 35, 2 doesn't go into it, neither does 3, neither does 4. And you've got 5 times by 7, 6 doesn't go into it, and then I am back to 7. So those are all of my factors of 35. Now in this case, I need the numbers that I'm multiplying to add up to give me negative 2. So let's have a look at the first set. If I made the 1 positive and the 35 negative, I'd get to negative 34. And if I made it a negative 1 and positive 35, then I would just get positive 34. So it's definitely not that. That's not giving me this 2 that I need over here. So let's try the 5 and the 7. So negative 5 plus 7 gives me a positive 2. And that's not what I've got here. I've got a negative 2. So positive 5, negative 7. That's how I'm going to get to that negative 2 there. So if we pop it into brackets, x plus 5 and x minus 7. When I expand that, that's how I'll get two numbers that multiply to give me minus 35 and add to give me minus 2. Okay then, go on to the next part of the video and have a go at a couple of questions for yourself. Okay, so here are 3 questions for you to try. Remember that the best way to start is by writing out the factors of the numbers at the end, so what numbers multiply to give us those, and then playing around with which one is positive and which one is negative to produce these values here. Pause it and have a go. So for the first question, here are my factors here, 1 and 10, 2 and 5. I can see that 1 and 10 isn't going to give me a difference of 3 no matter which way round I do it. And then if I have a look at the 2 and the 5, they've got a difference of 3, but can I work it so that I get a positive 3 overall? So I've got to have 1 negative and 1 positive to produce this negative 10. So if I go with negative 2 and positive 5, that does give me positive 3. So x minus 2 and x plus 3. The following one, minus 24. So we'll start off just by considering the factors of 24. There are quite a few of these. So 1 times by 24, 2 times by 12, 3 times by 8, and 4 times by 6. Now if I have a look and start seeing which ones have a difference of 2, they've got a difference of 23, a difference of 10, a difference of 5. So it's going to be this last set here. Now overall, I want a negative 2. So that means the bigger number is going to be negative. So positive 4, negative 6, that would give me that negative 2. So factorising, I'll have x plus 4 and x minus 6. And so the last one, 54. So the numbers I've got there, 1 times by 54, 2 times by 27. And here's a few more there. So 1 and 54, they don't have a difference of 3. 2 and 27, they don't have a difference of 3. 3 and 18, they don't have a difference of 3, but 6 and 9 do. Now again, I've got a positive 3, so I need to make the bigger number the positive number. So negative 6, positive 9, that does give me positive 3. So I've got x minus 6 and x plus 9 now when I factorise. Okay, so go on to try the question set today and then have a go at mixed questions, trying to recognise whether they're both positive, both negative, or one of each.